This is your Donnelsville Elementary announcement.
Good morning, Donnelsville. This is Mrs. Strader broadcasting live from Donnelsville Elementary. Today is Monday, December the 3rd, 2012. We've moved into December. Hey, welcome to our substitutes today, Mrs. McKinley and Mrs. Fink. Hey, boys and girls, I hope you all enjoyed your little extra time this morning with our 2-hour delay. By the time you woke up, the fog was probably gone, but it sure was foggy this morning when the buses should have started rolling. Hey, we don't have any birthdays to celebrate today, but a reminder, hey, that we do need you to keep collecting those box tops. Hey, we've got a box top collection day coming up, not too far off here, but again, just make sure you continue to collect those. And tomorrow is our Impact Bethel Toy Drive. Hopefully you took that information home to your parents. We're going to help out families in our community who may be struggling this Christmas. So if you can, bring in a new toy tomorrow. It will be given to Impact Bethel, and they will, in turn, distribute those to families in our area. Okay? Another option is to make an online donation to Impact Bethel on their website. Okay, so boys and girls, if you can, that would be terrific. Okay, we'll also do that again on Wednesday. So kindergartners, when you come back on Wednesday, you bring your toys on Wednesday. Okay, again, those are new toys to be given to Impact Bethel. All right, boys and girls, this morning, we kind of reorganized things a little in the cafeteria to make it easier for you to find your place to hang your coats. So everybody listen up. Hey, you're going to see when you go down to the cafeteria that we have, hey, colored paper like this, hey, behind the hooks. And they're all different colors, okay? We've got brown and orange and purple, green and blue and black. So you'll have to just learn what your color is. You know, sometimes it was hard to find your teacher's picture and to know exactly where you're going to hang your coat. So now you'll have a color the whole length, hey, behind those hooks. There are also still pictures. Your teacher's picture is likely not in the same place it was before because we had to kind of totally redo it with all the different lunches and things. Okay, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to listen up, I'm going to tell you what color. Teachers, I have a sample for each of you that I'm going to stick in your box. And if you want to hang that up in your room or do whatever with it, you'll have that as well. But let's listen. Black will be Mrs. Pond, Mrs. DeWitt, and Mrs. Leidy. Your area is black. Purple is Mrs. Evanston, Mrs. Morris, and Mrs. Fell. Green, Mrs. Mullen, Mrs. Howard, and Mrs. Rogers. Orange, Mrs. Christian, Mrs. Chase, and Mrs. Lawrence. Brown, Mrs. Massey, Mrs. Cunningham, Mrs. Berner, and Miss Lynn. And blue, Mrs. Stryker. Mrs. Stryker, your hooks are actually, as you enter the cafeteria, hey, there are some new hooks that were hung up, and we're just going to put one class there. That's Mrs. Stryker's class. Everybody else will be, hey, where the hooks were before. Again, teachers, I'll give you one of those in your mailbox. Hopefully that's going to make it a lot easier to find your coat and find your hooks. All right, let's get on to our lunch today. Sydney, what's for lunch today?
Barbecue chicken chips.
And you're going to buy those barbecue chicken chips, aren't you? All right, they'll be yummy. Hey, Violet, what about our weather today?
Cloudy.
All right, flip that sign around there. Okay, well, we should be able to get out for recess. Hopefully, it's supposed to be actually pretty nice, I think, warm. Okay. All right, boys and girls, thank you for joining us on another edition of the Donnelsville News. Have a great day. Remember, we're all here to
learn.